Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Buckeye Weekly Podcast. I'm Tony Gerdeman here, as always, with Tom or Tom. How's it going?
Tony, I am making a trip in the upcoming days for the holiday weekend. And you know how your kids will see stuff on the internet and it's like, oh, goodness, I don't like the fact that you've been exposed to this.
Hmm.
My son found our segment on Altoona pizza. And we are going to be going through central Pennsylvania and is intrigued to try Altoona style pizza for himself. So I may be at some point going back to the site of one of our greatest Hungry Hunger Huddle segments ever.
I just wonder if it's going to go so well for you guys. You're also going to swing by on the way back home and get a sheet. Because what do they call them? They call them cuts. You get a
Mm-hmm.
whole sheet full of cuts to take
Mm-hmm.
home, throw them in the freezer. You pop them in the microwave or in the air fryer whenever you need one. Your early mornings, you got to get to the rink, just get something going. You got your cut of Altoona style pizza and a coffee, and boy,
Mm-hmm.
you are good to go. I am jealous a little bit, not of the early mornings though. Tom, speaking of the Altoona style pizza of positions at Ohio State, let's talk about quarterbacks. And just to be clear, we like Altoona style pizza here. So this is something I wanted to talk about. Ryan Day had mentioned on his radio show, going through all of the positions on the team. And when he was started talking about quarterbacks, here's something this is what he said about Julian Sayin, and I wonder how many people caught this. This is what he says: we're really excited that Julian's coming back. And again, when you say coming back, like I think maybe a lot of people just assume that. Well, every year it's a different deal. So Julian has been awesome here and really wants to make sure that we have guys around him in an offense together, that we can go win the whole thing, as you know, and reach our goals. And we've seen this, from a few guys in the NFL. I think maybe Tom Brady has taken pay cuts and things of that nature so that they can put together a team under the salary cap that is productive around him. For a college quarterback, and again, Ryan Day said, Julian has been awesome here and really wants to make sure that we have guys around him. And this is after saying you can't just assume quarterbacks are coming back any longer. And at the Cotton Bowl, I asked Billy Fessler, quarterbacks coach, hey, do you expect to have Julian back? Because this is the age we're in now. Quarterbacks are leaving. Shoot, you're seeing quarterbacks sue to be able to leave. Duke losing their starting quarterback. You can't just assume guys are coming back anymore. And not only is Julian Sayin coming back, he's doing so at a reasonable price that allows Ohio State to go out and add help for him. So I think, boy, Tom, in today's age, it's commendable that a player is not holding his program and a quarterback is not holding his team and his program hostage.
Right. And, I know there are people who are going to look at Julian Sand and go, well, I mean, did you see how he played the last two games? And oh boy, the mistakes he made. And allow me to assure you, if Julian Sand wanted to go on the open market, he would be able to draw an enormous paycheck from a lot of places. I mean, you mentioned Darian Mensah, the Duke
Mm-hmm.
quarterback, who ducked out the side door right at the end of the transfer portal window, right after signing a big deal to come back to Duke, and then is getting an even bigger deal at Miami now. If he got the number that has been floated on Mensa
Mm.
was $6 million. Now that's not official. Miami's a private school, but yeah, it is. There is money available for quarterbacks, and Julian Sayin was in by a lot of metrics one of the best quarterbacks, if not the best quarterback by some metrics in the nation last year. And is he perfect? No, of course not. He's not. He still has plenty of room to grow this year, but he could have gotten just the beep 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 sound of a Brinks truck backing up
Mm-hmm.
from any number of potential suitors in various corners of these United States of America, and chose to come back. And Ryan Day didn't say it quite out loud there, but you did not need to read too closely between the lines to see that. Yeah, he was willing to take maybe a little bit of a I don't want to say pay cut, but it's maybe take the long term view, and
Mm-hmm.
the idea that you're going to look better if you have a better supporting cast, and you're going to have a better supporting cast if your team has more resources to dedicate to that supporting cast, and that ultimately is going to not only help your place in college football, but also potentially help you in terms of your ability to reach reach the heights of the NFL draft and all of that at the next level. So, that is for sure a commendable thing, and it's something that I really don't want to turn this into like these kids today, but
Well, go
it's
ahead.
something and I'm sure there are plenty of other people who did it, but there are plenty of people who don't do it too,
Mhm.
and the people who are kind of taking that approach is that's a good thing. That's a good thing for college football.
Yeah, and when you do hold your team hostage, and you know the money they come up with the money, that's money that can't then go elsewhere. And for Julian Sayin to not fully realize his market basically allows you to fill the offensive line. Ryan Day said the reason they didn't go out into the portal is because it took them everything they had to keep the guys there. That's wherever you want to say this money is coming from. The fact that Julian Sayin didn't ask for $2 million more, because what's Ohio State going to do? Either say no, and then is this now the Tavian St. Clair era, or are they going into the portal and you know paying $4 million instead of $5 million for a Josh Hoover type or somebody like that, where it's it worked with Will Howard, that sort of thing. But not that Will Howard was commanding $4 million, but having a guy who is a Heisman finalist back, redshirt sophomore season, not unlike C.J. Stroud, redshirt freshman Heisman finalist, outstanding redshirt sophomore season. Dwayne Haskins, outstanding redshirt sophomore season, in a wild passing offense for the Buckeyes back then with no defense. But you're bringing back a returning starting quarterback, and to further what Ryan Day was saying then about Julian, Julian is going to have a huge offseason. Julian is really going to dive into this thing and take the next step. So we're all excited about this year for him and taking the next step, even as a leader and all the different things, but obviously a great first year for him. And that's the thing. Ohio State's not looking for him to be the same player, and Julian Sayin is not looking to be the same player. He's ready to become the next version of himself, as Ryan Day talks about the 2.0, the next edition of what they're going to be. And Julian Sayin was very, very good last year. He wants to be great. The best ways to be great are: one, work on yourself, work on your game, improve all that. The other way is to have a bunch of guys around you. And right now, he's doing both of those things. That's the plan for both of these things. So I know Julian Sayin has got some criticism for this past year. Most redshirt freshmen, are learning on the fly, and he was as well, and struggled against the best defenses, which is what happens to most quarterbacks as well. I just think commend him for not taking as much as he could. Also, expect him to be very, very good, because he's going to put all of his lessons that he's learned to very good use this year.
Yeah, and I think he's someone who you've seen as much as you need to see in some areas in terms of accuracy and ball placement and that kind of stuff. He's already top of the class in those areas. Now he has some other spots where now can you improve in terms of some of your field vision and not going through your progressions too fast, or maybe going through your progressions a little more deliberately, I guess. They had times when there were guys who were open and he just didn't see them, and sometimes that was a function of the offensive line, and sometimes that was a function of him. Sometimes that was just you're reading the other side of the field and you just don't see it, and sometimes it was maybe he missed someone. And there is not just one clean, easy, well, it's always his fault, or it's always someone else's fault, or it's always the offensive line's fault. It's like, it's complicated. But if he can spend this offseason, and the offensive line's better, so he has a little bit more time, and he has a little bit more comfort level back there, and a little more confidence back there, and he has more confidence in himself as well, and he has another year of watching film and another year of experience and all that kind of stuff. My sense is that seeing the field and that kind of stuff, that's an easier thing to continue to grow in and progress in than just I'm an inaccurate quarterback, and this year I'm just going to work and become an accurate quarterback. Like, if it was that easy, Jamarcus Russell would really have had a heck of an NFL career, but he didn't. So it feels like in some ways, Julian Sayin has some of the hardest stuff already done. Like, he's already got that checked off the list. And now it's just a matter of, okay, handle the, do the rest of the stuff, continue just sort of the natural development and some of the, the normal progression that we've seen a lot of quarterbacks have under Ryan Day. And with a pretty good supporting cast around him and some talented wide receivers coming in and a talented offensive line coming back, it feels like he's set up for some pretty good success.
Yeah, Ryan Day loves how quickly he gets the ball out, but with more comfort, you hold the ball a little bit longer, and then you can see more of those big plays opening up, and I think that would be the next step of his game. And even as he said against Miami, those sacks weren't all on the offensive lines. Some of those were on him, and he needs to get better at that, maybe run the ball a little bit more, just scramble a little bit more, get rid of the ball a little bit more. So there you go, just some thoughts on the quarterback situation at Ohio State and some of the moves made by Julian Sayin to make the entire team a little bit better as well. So if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. We'd appreciate that. If you're listening, 5-star rating, review, all that good stuff is appreciated. And as always, you can find us at BuckeyeHuddle.com. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will talk to you all later.